Welcome, friends, patrons. So today I'm going to diverge from my usual part 5 of the key to understanding all things. Simply because, hey Nick, simply because part 4 was removed and I got a strike on my channel. So I've got someone removing the bits that are supposed medical misinformation. The reason I got a strike. So I'm going on this new channel of mine that's just been created just for teaching music. And next week I'll do part 5 because tomorrow the strike will be lifted and all the medical misinformation will be removed and it'll go up again, but it'll be in the private or unlisted so that all the patrons can have part 4. I've had a lot of people asking me, where's part 4? Because they don't know the backstory. It was deleted. Fortunately, Nick, thank you, Nick T, he recorded it. So, and I was tired that day and I was thinking, oh no, I hope I haven't lost that because I don't want to do part 4 again. You know, I don't want to have to do things, they get wrecked or removed and then have to do them again, you know. So that's why we're here today. And I was going to diverge. I'm going to do something different. And that is that I will be talking about an incident that happened to me on the 13th of October, 2019. It was an attempted murder on me. Now, let me just share you that video there. I want you guys to click on that video. I'll share my screen. There's a guy here, and I'm glad this guy did do this. He actually got the police report of the day when this guy got himself killed. And you might want to listen to this. He's got the police report and he reads it all out and he shows the outline of everything that happened. There are things, of course, that he doesn't know that I would like to add one day, but I'm waiting for Molly. I'm waiting for Molly, my good friend in Oregon, who had her life saved by a murderer. I'm waiting for her to, she promised that it's been 5 years, over 5 years since it happened, but she promised me that one day she would do a live with me and Mari, my driver, who was also at the house. There's 3 of us. I'd like to get on a call and do a show and talk about the whole day, because it's interesting how people have turned that around and called me a murderer. I saved a woman's life. And these are people who were close to me, believe it or not, have the cheek, the despicable cheek to call me a murderer. I saved Molly from being murdered by a murderer. All right, so you've got the video there. You can watch that later. And I'm going to share my screen and show my chart. I'm also going to show Molly's chart, but I'm going to keep her details private because I haven't even asked her for permission to do this. But it doesn't matter because you won't be able to deduce anything without her details. So I'm going to keep that private. And I'm going to show you how when events happen in your life that change your life, where you get a death threat and you were supposed to die, for instance, it's all in the chart. And I'm going to show you how to see that and learn that and understand that. And remember that all the major events in your chart, if you go back and do the transits, you will see that the planets orchestrated all of it. All of it. So I'm going to share my screen and my chart. And here is my chart of, as you can see, the 13th of October, 2019. So what do you see already that shows that that day will be a potentially dangerous day for me? Well, how about the moon transiting the 8th house and being a full moon opposite the sun, which is in Libra, the sign of its fall. And Mars is also in Libra, the sign of its detriment. And the moon is opposite in the house of death. There you go. Always say, look at the 8th house when death is involved, whether it's your parents, your child, your mother, your husband, your wife, or your best friend, or whatever. Okay? Now look at another thing. Chiron was right on my sun, a wound. Yes, I was wounded. I got 3 wounds, 3 cuts to my fingers. Okay? I survived. He didn't. Now the moon, you might think, oh, wait a minute, it's completely opposite Mars, which is not good because Libra is the house of partners and friends and others and harmony. So when Mars comes into Libra, there will always be disharmony between friends, between your wife, between your husband, your boyfriend, girlfriend, always. And so I remember for about a week when Molly was receiving these death threats from this certain guy called Stephen that once used to be her boyfriend and who got jealous because I was staying at Molly's house with Mari, my driver. I was on tour. I just arrived in the Americas 2 months earlier. I arrived on the 11th of August, 2019 to San Francisco. So the 13th of October, that's 2 months and 2 days, 22. There you go. 22, 2 months and 2 days after I land on American shores, I've already got someone who wants to kill me. Now, why did he want to kill me? Well, because he, as you will see in the video when you watch it, is a very, very, very possessive, controlling individual. And he used to be Molly's partner. And that was 6 months ago. Now, the stupid guy, he thought because Molly was hosting me and Mari, because we were on our way from Eugene, Oregon to Portland, Oregon to do a presentation the next day, we stopped by Molly's and connected with her, and Molly explained how she wanted to include my syncretism in Fairy World, the festival, the great Oregon West Coast festival where people dress up in medieval or ancient, like Nordic attire, and there's music, There's the main stage and then there's the second stage. Well, Molly was running the second stage for 20 years, and she'd been following my work as well for years. And she and Stephen, when they were together, were watching my work. And then when I became a flat earther, he decided that I was a shill, but Molly didn't. And he resented that because, of course, stupid people want to be everyone's guru. That's what gurus are. They're stupid people who want people to suck their dicks and smell their farts. That's what gurus are. That's all they are. They're fart doers, and all the stupid people who pay thousands of dollars to go and listen to them smell their farts and clap and have no money to pay the rent. Whereas here, everything's free because that's how it's supposed to be. All right, so let me show you the true position of the moon. The moon was not at 10 degrees because Astrodynst does not give you can't put the transits exactly set to the time of the day. You can only do the day, unfortunately. So if we go to Astro Theme, Astro Theme, Astro Theme, we have the moon at 17 degrees Aries at the time of 8:20 a.m. It was a Sunday morning, full moon in Aries. Me, Molly, and Mari were all Arian, and the night before we were talking about having a beautiful picnic, a beautiful Sunday, glorious day where we would have a Aries full moon celebration. Well, guess what? We got a knock on the door at about 8:20 a.m. on that morning. And at that time, the moon was at 17 degrees Aries. So let's go back to the chart, and we see here the moon is 10 degrees. Well, let's push it up to here. And when you do that, you come to about 17 degrees. Where's the sun? 19 degrees Libra. So I had the moon right here, not where you see it, right here on the 17th degree of Aries, in the middle of the 8th house of death. And it was directly opposite the sun in the sign of harmony and peace and balance, justice. Well, he got his just desserts, that's for sure. But Mars is also a player in this, okay? Because the sun has a broad orb and so does the moon. So the moon is also opposite Mars, which is the killer, the war, right? And of course, knowing that both the sun and the moon are in detriment and in fall, respectively, always tell you that this is a time when the sun is transiting Libra, whoever you are, be careful with your partners, okay? And especially when Mars is in Libra. Okay, those two. Watch out for those two. You will find that Libra is the sign when most people split up. Gemini is the sign when most people commit suicide. Cancer is the sign when most people get married, etc., etc. I could go on, but let's stay focused. Have a look at where my Neptune is. Yeah, right on my moon. Right on my moon, which is deception. Yeah, delusion. Right on my 7th house, which is Libran. All right. So basically, this guy Stephen, he thought because Mari and me, we stayed at Molly's place for about 6 days after the Portland presentation, which has never seen the light of day. Thanks, Elijah Ray. Thank you very much. Good friend, very good friend. Yeah. I told him to film it, like I tell everybody to film my presentations, but none of them do. So that's why I don't do any public presentations. Fuck them all. So it's sitting on his camera. But anyway, we finished that and then we headed down to Eugene from Portland, Oregon. Okay? And we stayed there because Molly was going to make a plan for syncretism to be a part of Fairy World. Since her best friend owned Fairy World and Molly ran the second stage for 20 years, she wanted syncretism to be a part of that community. And in between those 6 days, she had to fly to Kansas to see her parents anyway. So Mari and I were just twiddling our fingers watching her home. In the meantime, Stephen is sending Molly texts telling her that he's going to come to her place with a baseball bat and 2 knives and a knife and kill her, butcher her, beat her to a pulp, and her beautiful little Jack Russell dog, beautiful little dog, whom she loves so much, and he knew that they are best friends, and he even said that he would kill her dog, and her guru, her false guru, the flat earther, Santos Bonacci, because he knew I was there. And how do we know that? Well, because he was watching the social media, and I was telling people on social media all my movements. In those days, I used to do lives. And so after the Portland presentation, Molly appeared in one of my videos, and he saw that because he was watching her carefully, thinking that after 6 months of her dumping him, that she belonged to him. So he, of course, being an idiot, concluded that Molly and I were in a relationship. Yeah, right. Well, that hasn't happened for 6 years. And I can promise you, as God is listening, that we have never been in a relationship. That's right. We've never had sex. Molly has never been my girlfriend, period. So this delusional, demonic individual who is 6'2" and I'm 5'6", so he's 7 inches taller than me. He was definitely over 300 pounds. And so I'm sleeping I'll draw this up on the board in a minute, how the house layout is and how everything happened, okay? For your benefit, for the world's benefit, because I may actually leave this video public. I don't know, I'll think about that. Sometimes it's not the best thing to, tell people anything about your life because they misconstrue things, like the idiot people who call me a murderer. To this day, they think I'm a murderer because I saved Molly's life. Yeah. This is how twisted the world is. This is how sick these MK Ultra people are. They're polluted. You can't even teach them how to think. You can't. Now, why? Can you tell by this chart why I survived? Has to do with Jupiter in Sagittarius. Jupiter is domiciled in Sagittarius. He's in the 4th house, so he has much strength. He's on the 20th degree. We already know then that he's trining with my sun on the 19th degree, sextiling. And if you look closely, and remember that the moon was on the 17th degree of Aries, you can see that Jupiter, the savior, was trining my moon, which was here. That's a trine. 20 degrees, 17 degrees, perfect trine from fire to fire. And then a perfect sextile to the sun. If Jupiter was not here, it may have been a different outcome. This is why I was saved. Because during the ordeal, which lasted probably about 15 minutes, me trying to wrestle with this guy and keep him from killing Molly. Molly was already hit on the head twice, bashed. She still suffers many symptoms 6 years later and is getting treatment for it. So there it is. That was the savior guy. Look at everything. Always look at everything. Don't look at the bad. You can see clearly the moon triggered the death scenario, the murder, opposite the sun, not good. Full moons are always bringing out the loonies. But Jupiter was in the right place. Okay? All right. Let me stop sharing to see if people are enjoying this. Are you getting this, guys? Shout out to Molly. Yeah, I'm going to do hers. And hers will tell much more. Much more. And then I'm going to get my whiteboard out and I'm going to show you everything that I can remember from the day, because there's parts that I can't remember and there's parts that Molly can't remember. But we did give statements to the police, and because we were separated instantly at the scene, there was probably about 50 cops there. There was more than 10 police cars. And an ambulance, because we called the ambulance because this guy was bleeding to death in Molly's house. So I'm gonna write that on the board. But first, I want to show you Molly's chart, and you'll see how it was also in her chart. You see, here's an example. When an aeroplane falls out of the sky and 200 people die, you might ask, well, was that in each 200 individuals' chart? And the answer is yes. Yes. This is how amazing astrology and this simulation and this electromagnetic video game matrix, hologram, whatever you want to call it, that is how amazing it is. If you can find the keys to this knowledge, you can see how all this works through the eyes of astrology. All right? Yeah, it was a story. Just wait till I tell you on the board how everything happened, transpired. I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to do Molly's chart, and then off to the board. All right, to save her privacy, I'm going to keep that up. All right, her details are up in here. I don't want to show that. Now Molly's got a beautiful chart. She's an angel. Molly is an angel. She's an absolute angel. She wouldn't hurt a fly. And I'd only known her 3 weeks. She contacted me 3 weeks earlier. Before that, I didn't know she existed. And she said, "I know you're going to Oregon. I'm in Oregon. Please pass by my house. I want to talk about how we can get syncretism into Fairy World Festival, because there are a lot of spiritual people there." And I said, "Sure, that's why I came. I came to America to do some presentations and find a place to settle down." Okay, so let's have a look at Molly's chart. Nothing in the 8th house, right? Nothing scary there. But look at that Mars I was talking about before, 10 degrees, right opposite Molly's 10-degree sun. Yeah, she's Aries as well. Can you see that, guys? Mars, in its detriment, right opposite her sun. And in 2 cadent houses, the 9th and the 3rd. Cadent means decadent. 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 All right, let's go around and see what else is happening. Sun on Uranus. Yeah, that's going to trigger something. Jupiter directly opposite I've got the 19th of October. Let's, okay. I've got to fix this. Why did I put the 19th of October? I screwed it right up, I did, but no worries. There won't be much difference, as you will see. All right, up goes the private details. Let's share the screen again. All right, I've got the right date. I had the 19th. Easy mistake. So let's go back to Mars. So we see Mars on Pluto, destruction, opposite her sun. Well, there it is. That's just one of many more I'm going to show you. But that is enough. That's it. Done deal. Stitched. Absolutely sewn, stitched, and completed. The whole quilt with just that one. Jupiter on her north node. And Mars on her south node, which is in a natal chart. But look at where the north node is. Right on the moon. It was a full moon. So that means her south node must be where? Opposite. And guess who's there? In her first house? Satan and Pluto, the destroyer. Right on her south node. Which indicates that what came to her, Saturn in her first house, the house of you, your soul, your spirit, your energy, your vitality, your desires, your aspirations. Saturn was right on her south node, meaning that this had something to do with past. Now, we all acknowledge this. When something like this happens, where someone comes to kill a person and then another person gets involved and saves that person and they both survive, etc. This is not a nice thing. This is a major event. You know, this will always be one of the major events of my life, guys. And it wasn't a good one. But you know what? I have never ever freaking hell. God damn, man. I have never, ever, um, okay, so I lost my thought. That happens. All right, what else have we got? Well, look where the moon was, right on her Chiron. Remember, the moon was not here because Astrodience doesn't give you the right. Huh? It was here. It was right here. Chiron, wound. And remember, Chiron was right on my sun. Chiron was right on the transiting moon for her. Wounds. She was wounded. Okay? Uranus, right here, right next to the IC, the tomb, death, midnight, winter. Right? Look at this. Directly opposite Venus, love. Directly opposite. I mean, I'm talking 0-degree orb. Uranus retrograding in Taurus, not good. Uranus falls in Taurus. Venus falls or is in detriment, is in detriment in Scorpio. So Venus in detriment on the MC, directly opposite Uranus in his fall, bang. You see, the woman is being attacked by the tomb of the IC. So there's Mars directly opposite the moon and Chiron, wounding, Mars wounding her, the beautiful woman that she is. We've got Saturn on her south node in her first house, north node on the moon, Uranus in fall directly opposite Venus, in detriment in the strongest signs, the angles. You see, Mars was incadent, decadent, but Venus was in a great position on the MC, but too bad she was in Scorpio. Scorpio is death. You see? And it just happened to be directly opposite Uranus transiting that day. I'm sure on that day a lot of people had trouble because everyone would have had the moon opposite Mars and the sun. That full moon, I think if one day, I think we'll find that October the 13th, 2019 was not good for many people. That's what I feel, because I'm doing mundane astrology here as well, showing you that Uranus was opposite Venus and Mars was opposite the moon, and the sun was opposite the moon on that full moon day. It was a full moon day in October in Libra. You see, because the sun was still in Libra, the sign of justice. I'm sure a lot of shit happened that day. All right, guys. So let me just, I guess I'll stop share screening. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do. I hope you saw my video on Instagram about the MAGA movement and Donald Trump. Donald means ruler of the world or wielder of the world. And Armageddon, and the Elon Musk salute, Hail Hitler, HH, coming to 88, and how R means river in many languages, well, in etymology, because the opposite, Ra, means fire, the sun, so R is water. The most famous river in Italy, Arno, goes from Florence to Pisa, two most beautiful cities in the world. The Arno River, A-R-N-O. And Trump means the trump card. I wonder whether the MAGA movement has got anything to do with Armageddon, Magadon, because Donald Trump he's a MAGA maniac, isn't he? All right, so let's see if I can do this, guys, with this little board, or should I get my big board? No, because my big board has last week's lesson on it, and I don't want to be starting again. So let's do this like this, shall we? All right, it's going to be difficult. Simply because I should get something better than this and put it higher. I don't like that reflection there. So, all right, here we go. Right, bear with me, guys. Let's see if that's... Oh, no. How can I fix that? Maybe if I dim my screen. Yeah, because you guys... Yeah, you don't need to... That's better, isn't it? Yeah, good. Okay. So, I'm glad because Molly's house is rectangular. This is Molly's house, okay? It's a rectangle. The driveway's here, and Mari was sleeping in her van. Molly's bedroom is over here. The garage that she turned into a master bed where she would have people renting. I was sleeping here, Santos, Mari, and Molly. Here's the front door. And Molly's car is always parked here, right? So, and here I have two sliding doors. And this door here, behind me I had a door and I had a bathroom. So here was my bathroom. I remember waking up, I went to the bathroom, and then I came out and I thought, well, it's 8 o'clock and these two girls aren't talking because they usually start talking in the morning. So they must be sleeping. I'll just lay down. So I was laying down here on this bed here. And then I hear this noise. I hear all this commotion. Now, this is the lounge room. Yeah, okay. That's it. There's a wall like this. It must have been. Here's the kitchen. Here's the dining room, and this is the lounge. Okay? So, and then I think the bathroom and that's all around here. And then back here is another sliding door. It's important to remember this because you'll see why. All right, so now this guy was caught on many cameras. There were cameras all over the street, and watching him doing laps around Molly's block and waiting for the right time in the morning when he knew that we'd be probably sleeping, and knowing that this car was my driver and that I was sleeping. But see, as the story goes on, you'll understand that when he came into here, he expected me to come from Molly's room because obviously he was thinking me and Molly were doing something in here, sleeping together. So he was watching for here. He wasn't watching for this door, right? So he's killing Molly here. There's a lounge here. Okay? Now, he comes in the door. She opens the door. Why did she open the door? You would think, wait a minute. If a guy's been saying he's coming to your house to murder you, to murder your guru and your dog, and both Mari and I were telling Molly, report him to the police, put a restraining order on him, because we're going to be going home tomorrow. We're going to be going home on Monday. We won't be here, Molly, to protect you. You have to tell the police. And she said, no, Steve's like that. He's crazy. He says shit, but he doesn't do it. Okay, I trusted her. Anyway, so she opened the door for the same reason that I went to lay down here, because she thought that Mari would be sleeping. She forgot I was here. She forgot all about me. But when she got to this door and she saw that it was Stephen and he was hiding something behind his back, she decided to open the door. Now, why would you do that? You've just been receiving death threats for a week, right? Because she was thinking, I know he's going to be arguing, because that's what he does, and I don't want to wake Mari up. She forgot about me, had no idea, and I'll explain this later. She'll explain it as well. So she thought the courteous thing to do would be to open the door and have this argument in here, so we don't wake Mari up and cause a scenario on the street. So first thing he does, as soon as he gets in that door, and the door's wide open, right, like this, and there's a driveway going from her drive to the door, right? He was parked out here on the road. He was on the road, parked right here. So as soon as he gets in, he bang, hits her on the head here on the left side. She falls to the ground. She gets up and she goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he said, "Giving you what you deserve, bitch." And then he hit her again. Bang! And she fell to the ground. She fell to the ground and she couldn't get up. The first time she got up. Second time she couldn't. So she was on her knees and she teleported to her front street. She saw herself in that instance on her street, screaming for help and realizing that there was no one there. It was morning, there were no cars, there was no one there. But anyway, it was in her head, the vision that she had, or the teleportation, the shock. just caused herself to release herself from her body and see what was going on around. So it was at that time that she screamed, "Help." Now, I'm going to go back to me. So that was what was going on here. All this noise. I heard this noise, and I had this door shut. It had a glass top, so it had a curtain on it. So he couldn't see that I was here. But what I did was I ran straight for this door, opened it, and I had 1 foot out the door. And I looked to the left and I saw that the door was open, and I knew that the noise, I thought it was Molly arguing from inside her house saying, "Go away, go away." And I thought that was what the noise was. Because in Australia, when a baddie comes knocking on your door, what you do is you run out the back door and then you jump your neighbour's fence and you call the police. So I immediately, quickly, on a swivel, my mind said, right, good, Molly's running out the back door, I've got the front door, I'm going to save my life, I'm going to run that way. I had my foot out the door, and then I turned left, and I had a big problem because I heard her scream. "Help!" She screamed like it was awful. It was just a horrendous scream. And on that very instance, looking to the left, knowing that it was him coming for her and hearing that scream, I turned on a swivel, just like that. Turned. I ran back through the sliding door, and I had to go to this door here. Now you'll see this door because in one of my presentations, one of my videos with Hydrogen Man, he came to see me in Oregon because he was living in Oregon. On the 9th of October, we did my first hydrogen machine presentation 6 years ago. My Lutrifix, the best hydrogen machine in the world. I don't drink water, I drink hydrogen. That's how you hydrate, because water quenches your thirst, but it leaches all your minerals. Drinking water is stupidity. Drinking hydrogen is intelligence. That's what hydrates you, your mitochondria. So anyway, I'll find that video right now and show you. I want to do that right now. Let's do that. Because this is getting more interesting than I anticipated. Hydrogen machine. Let's share my screen. Hydro. I wish I could spell, but being dyslexic. Oh, there it is right there. Oh my God. Let me share my screen. Woof. You guys are going to freak right out. This is the door. Greg from Holy Hydrogen, he came to Molly's house. This is Molly's house here, guys. Right. See this here? That's the door I had to bust. This is where, right there, this window, right to the left of this window is Molly's front door. You can see into her. There's the lounge where I fell and where he fell on top of me. This is the lounge here, the divan. Okay? So, whoops. So we're sitting in the garage, my bedroom, doing this. All right. Now, at the time, 3 days after this, I put a curtain on here because I didn't like. I just wanted to have a curtain on there. Right. So that's on my channel. There you go. Holy Hydrogen with Hydrogen Man. October. You know what? I should edit that and put, I will later. I'm going to keep this up. The 9th of October, because it was 4 days. I think it was 3 or 4 days, because Molly was in Kansas, remember? So she wasn't here. Mari was in the kitchen doing something, and I did 2 presentations. We both speak Spanish, so we did one in English and then we did one in Spanish for the hydrogen machine. And guys, you can get this on my website. Please, please, please hydrate your body. You have to hydrate your body. I was dehydrating for decades, and I didn't realize, because I was drinking a lot of water, right? I believed the myth of water drinking. It's absolutely a fucking lie. It's to kill you. Drinking water is utter stupidity. My father said to me, I've never drunk a glass of water in my life. And he lived to 87. He would have lived to 190 if he didn't have a car accident. Never drank a glass of water in his life. And I said, how do you quench your thirst, Dad? He says, fruit. Eat fruit, because it's structured water. And this is structured molecular hydrogen. Anyway, I'm going, this is the door. So to the right, to the left of me here is the sliding door that I had to come from to get to this door. And in front of me, in front of both of us, is my double bed. This is a bedroom made for renters, okay? So this is the door I had to break into, this one here. All right. So let me explain what happened. So as soon as I was here, I had a foot out the door. I had to have, because otherwise, how would I have seen this open door here? She screams, she's on the ground, and he's standing right here. And I ran so fast to this door, I think I knew I had to make a bang. So I hit that door as I was opening it. I hit it. I didn't break the glass, fortunately. I think I hit my knee. I opened it with my knee. This guy was like this. All I saw was a bat. I didn't see Molly. I didn't see him. The angels that were surrounding and protecting me, my eye went straight to the bat. And thank God for that, right? So I bust this door open, and he was expecting me to come from here because the dog was here. The dog was just walking around here, and watching everything. It didn't bark. It didn't do anything. It was a good dog. Molly told the dog, be quiet, right? So she was expecting me. He was expecting me to come from here. So he's looking the other way because he knows that I'm in this house, right? And then as soon as I bang smash through here, he's like this. He's so tall that the baseball bat was touching the ceiling. He's like this. He's looking that way. And then he hears bang behind him and he goes, and he just turned around. Now, thank God that I did that just in time, because he was just about to go bang and finish Molly off. The timing was just incredible. So he got a shock because I'm coming from the left. I was supposed to be coming from her master bedroom where we were supposedly fucking. Delusional people make things up because that's what they do. That's what they do, so they think that that's what everybody else does. So my eyes were trained on that bat, and I'm so lucky that the angle of the bat that was coming down to me was just right so that I had grabbed it here and here, and I had full control of that bat. He only had the end of it. You know, when you have the end, you've got nothing, because the guy who's got the most of it, he has more strength. He has more leverage. So then, because of that, because I grabbed that and I was falling back, we landed on this couch. Okay? Now, this is crucial. Besides the fact that I'm quick and very, 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 very strong, he was slow. Like, he was an amateur. He brings a baseball bat and 2 sharp knives to the game, and he doesn't know how to use them. Like, the police said, we are shocked that he didn't kill you on the first hit. She said, yeah, it was strong, and the second one was stronger. How did you survive? Because she's Aries. We've got hard heads. Anyway, so now I'm on the couch, and he's on top of me. I've got the baseball bat, that falls to the ground, and he pulls a knife out. And I'm trying to talk to him, Steve, there's no need for you to do this. You're already going to go to jail for breaking and entering and assault. Stop now. Stop. There's nothing between Molly and I. And he was just ranting. In the post-mortem report, it said that he had a lot of marijuana in his system. So, like, the guy was amateur. He was really slow. Like, I was like Floyd Mayweather or Bruce Lee against someone who's never fought ever in their life. That's what it was like. That's exactly how it was. I don't know whether I had super strength because of the angels or whether he was just super weak and an amateur retard. You know, because I know that if I set my intent, which I never would do, to go and kill someone, they're going to die. I'm not. They are. So, what a loser. All right, so what happens then is we fall on... Wait a minute, there was a detail. Yeah, he pulls his knife. Oh, okay, that's the detail. So Molly picks herself up. I don't know how. And she runs outside and she bangs on Mari's door. Bang, bang, bang. Wake up. Santos is getting killed. I've been hit. Call 911. This is the address. Right? All right, Mari's clever. She was hanging out with me for 2 months down at in California. We stayed at rest in peace Jamie Lee's ranch, and she came to see me, and we hung out, and so that's why she decided to drive me to Oregon and all these tour dates that I had. Anyway, so Mari's already on the phone to the police. Right? Molly runs back in. As soon as I saw Molly coming back in, I said, Molly, he's got a knife. And Molly said, when you said that, I knew we were in big trouble. So what did Molly do? Well, I already had a crushed back because this 300-pound bear had landed on my back. I was walking bent for 2 months after this. I was walking like this. Right? So Molly jumps on him. So now I've got 2 people on top of me. But it was good because Molly was pulling his hair and biting him, and he's stabbing me, and I'm stopping him every time. He's going jab, and I've got my hand there, quicker than him, like Bruce Lee, like lightning. I see him trying to stab me in slow motion. That's how amateur this guy is, like fucking amateur. He could have, Here's where he made his first mistake. He knew that I'm a short guy, right? He underestimated me. He saw me. He had the bat. All right, going back to when he had the bat in the air and I burst through the door, he made a crucial mistake. He said, yeah, I want to kill 2 instead of 1. But he did it backward because he already had a half-dead person in front of him and had the bat there. He could have said, this scrawny Santos Bonacci, I'll deal with him. He can't do anything to me. I've got knives and bats. I'll finish her off and then I'll finish him off. He made the wrong decision, thank God. He came for me, underestimated me, thinking that I would not have any angelic protection. I don't think so. So let's move on. So I'm here. This would have lasted. I'm trying to tell him to stop what he's doing. Molly comes in. She jumps on his back. All of Molly's piano is here. She's got a banjo, guitar, and viola here. All her stringed instruments are in this corner. Okay? So we're struggling. The whole 3 of us are here. Now, he can't kill me because I keep stopping him. So he decides, all right, I'll get rid of Molly. So he he grabs her and flips her over onto these instruments and broke the instruments. That's how strong he was. I mean, well, that's how little Molly was, I guess, or light, I should say. But that was good because here's the part I forget. When he did that, guys, I remember that I was relieved of him. But then someone cut out some time because the next thing I remember is he's sitting on the couch like this. Seriously, like he was just having a beer. He was sitting on the couch and I'm standing in front of him and I've got the knife in my hand in this position. I don't remember if I picked it up. I don't remember if I wrested it out of his hand. I think I did, but I just don't remember. There is a part of my memory that remembers looking down, seeing the knife and grabbing it, but I can't pick up the fragments of that. All I can say is that during the whole ordeal, there were 3 places where time disappeared, and the same thing happened with Molly. She also can't remember certain things because it was so horrific. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, he's sitting there like that. So since I'm not a murderer and a killer, I knew what to do, right? So I knew I had to disarm him. So I grabbed the knife and I plunged it into his left arm. And I'm sure it went straight through, man. I mean, the force of that plunge, because I wanted to disable his arms, right? Get rid of his arms. You don't kill him. And then the cops are already coming. I knew that, right? So bang in the arm. And then I knew I was being directed. It was like I knew that he would still come for me with just one arm. So I went for his hip. I got him right there, and I'm sure it went right through his hip. It was about it was short blade. I mean, it went deep. Okay. Then something spoke to me. It didn't speak to me verbally, audibly, but it directed my mind. It said to me, you need to give him one more. If you don't, he will kill you. It was like a knowing. So I went for, he had his arm there still that was bleeding, right? I went for his arm and he goes back like this, and turned out, I think the report said that I got him in the rib. I hit his rib or something, right? Then the next thing you know, he's on top of me in the kitchen. So that happened, the 3 stabbings happened here, and the next thing you know, he's on top of me, bleeding, in here where the kitchen sink is. This line has to be a bit more. The kitchen is a bit more like this, and the sink is here. So we're here. He's on top of me, and he's got the knife, and he's trying to kill me again. For the life of me, I don't know why. What I did with the knife after I jabbed him 3 times, I should have hung on to it, or I should have gone for the bat. But you don't think, because you're being orchestrated. It's out of time. These things happen out of time. So whenever you hear of people that have been brutally murdered and they were suffered and they were raped and everything like that, remember, something comes to them from the beyond which takes them out of that pain. They don't really experience that pain. So you never have to, you never have to sort of feel like, oh, how horrible it must have been for that person to die. They've gone to bliss, and they're protected from that hurt. I know I was. I knew the situation was urgent, and I knew that it was a life and death matter, right? So I just did what I had to do. Anyway, for some reason, I gave up the knife, and he's on top of me with the knife, killing me. So all I could do was scream to Molly, "Molly, grab the baseball bat." And she does, but when she recounts it, this is her version. "I heard you call me to pick up the bat while you were being killed, and I thought, oh yeah, that's a good idea." And she looks down and there's the bat, and she goes, yeah, I'll grab the bat. It's so funny. She's very, her sense of humor is so weird. That's how she saw it. I'm screaming, "Grab the bat and hit him and kill him," right? And she's like, yeah, I can help, because I was helping before. I'll grab the bat. Anyway, so but you got to realize she's already been bashed in the head twice. So I said, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him. I was screaming. I was coaching her. And so she swings, and she hits me. And it felt like this. And I thought, okay, we're both dead, because she can't hit. And I said, hit him again. And she does, and she hits him, and I could tell that it did nothing. So I let out this Leo Aries roar. I said, "Molly!" Like it was louder than anything you've ever heard. The decibel range of me screaming to her, I knew I had to reactivate the Molly that was strong before she was hit. I said, "Molly, hit him on the head, or we're both going to die. He will kill me, then he will kill you." And all of a sudden, she mustered up a strength. That's what she said. She said, "All right, I'm not going to miss this time. I'm not going to hit Sammy." She calls me Sammy. She goes, right. She lined it up, and donk. She hit him just hard enough for him to go donk and sort of stop. And I got out from under him, and Mari came rushing to me and gave me the phone. So I'm on the phone with 911. And what's the situation? And I said, well, a guy came to kill us and now he's been stabbed and he's bleeding to death. Get an ambulance. You've got the address. Murray gave you the address. Molly gave you the address. Send police and ambulances now. And she's like, stay on the phone. And what about, and I said, listen, this is exactly what I said. Do you want to know what fucking colour underwear I'm fucking wearing? I've given you all the fucking details. If you keep asking questions, this motherfucker's going to die because he's fucking dying, okay? And that's in the court record. So here I am abusing the poor lady who was trying to help me because she was asking all these stupid questions. Is he a lesbian in a man's body? Well, whatever, I'm just exaggerating. I told her he's dying. Just get ambulances here. You know the address. That's what you do. Okay, stupid? Anyway, so then I passed the phone back to Mari because I didn't want to talk to this person anymore, okay? And I heard police sirens. Next thing you know, this guy gets up, he's bleeding to death in the kitchen. There's blood everywhere. He gets up and he's coming towards me in the dining room here. He gets up from here and I'm here, and he starts, there's the dining table here where I've done 2 presentations with Lily Ann Rose, right here. Anyway, so he comes here, I'm here. I grabbed the baseball bat because I knew I had to, and I said, stop, the police are coming, you're going to jail and you're going to hell. And he just kept coming for me. I said, I'm going to hit you, motherfucker. He kept coming for me. So I hit him on the head. Bang. Nothing. Hard head. Then I don't know where I hit him, on the shoulder or on the back. I forget. But I knew it was, man, they were good hits. They were better hits than his 2 on Molly. I promise you. So like the 3 stabs, I had to give him 3 baseball hits. And guess where I went for? The knee. I went straight to his freaking knee and he fell straight to the ground, and that's where he died 10 minutes later. And they could have saved him if they weren't so pedantic about their procedures. Like, they had me coming out the house with my arms, and they're all got their guns pointed at me. And some of them, they were really good police. Oregon police are gentlemen. They're freaking great. I mean, they were my buddies. They could see. They knew that what went down and that I was innocent. They knew it straight away. But the sergeant, he was acting the cunt because he had to. Anyway, so he's like, come toward me. Keep your hands up. Come toward me. The guy's bleeding to death. Get the fucking ambulance. Just save him. We can talk later. Save the cunt. Come to me. It's procedure. Or whatever, something like that. Anyway, so I went straight up to him, right? And I said, this is what happened. I explained the whole story, and they thought, okay, all right, well, we've got you here now. You're not armed. They patted me down, had blood all over me. And so the ambulance turned up. The ambulance was there. The ambulance was there. I pointed to the ambulance, said, just let them go in. He's dying, and I'm here, and I'm unarmed, and they didn't do it. I don't think they could have saved him though, because Molly had to spend about $2,000 to have that house cleaned. There was blood everywhere. In here, all her carpet full of blood, the kitchen, blood, and a pool of blood where he died there near the dining room table. So let's just go back. Yeah, it's so scary, Cosmic Fern Tree. Yeah, it was scary. It was horrific. And you know what? Here's the thing. When you're in that situation, something happens in your mind where kind of like timelines appear to you. And I saw a timeline where he chopped up all my beautiful, flexible guitar playing fingers. I saw that. I saw where I couldn't play the guitar for the rest of my life because he cut all my fingers off. Because he had a chance. He was on me for 10 minutes on top of me, and he was going like this, and I just kept blocking him. Donk, 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 donk. And I had him around the neck too. And you don't want my arm around your neck, squeezing, because it hurts. And so his head was clinched to my arm, right? And with his other arm, he's swinging like this, and I'm stopping it. So the guy's getting frustrated, cursing me. But I saw another timeline where he got me in the eye. He stabbed both of my eyes, actually. But this one became blind. Right? I was blind. And he stabbed me and killed me. I saw that timeline. I saw another timeline where I was criminally charged for it, and I had to go to court, and a documentary was made about this flat earther guru who killed someone. What a hypocrite. Criminal Santos Bonacci, like they did in Australia, right? I saw that timeline. Yeah. And I saw another timeline where I kept running and I didn't turn back to save Molly. And that was awful. I don't want to speak about how awful that timeline and the feeling of the consequences of doing that. Because he was in there busy killing someone. I didn't know her. I knew she was good enough to save. Anyone is, especially if it's someone weaker and the other guy's a threatening bully, and you know that person's angelic. I saw the timeline where I just kept running and just said, well, each for their own. I'm here. I came to America to live, not to fucking die for someone I don't know. All right. Anyway, so let me go back to my chart now. All right, guys. So let's get this up. What's this here? All right. So what was I going to talk? Oh yeah, the wound. Okay, so all right. So was I wounded? You see this Chiron directly on my sun, guys, right on my sun. You can't you can't miss this. Chiron is the wounded healer. Do you know? After the event, right? Molly and I were sitting outside of the house. The police had gone. We went to the hospital first, then came back, and we were sitting outside in the sun outside the house, and just she was, let's say, she was in another world. She was not Molly anymore, and I was. I was hurting, my back was hurting, and my three fingers, which I did not allow the hospital people to stitch. They said, you've got to stitch these fingers. And I said, no. I've had much worse cuts than that. I'm a country boy, and I know how to heal myself. Thank you very much. You can put your nice little therapeutic services inside of your scrotum. And but there was a cut on my thumb, a cut on my middle finger, and a cut on my left hand pinky, my left hand. And you know how I got those cuts? Not from him. Because before I knew that he had a knife in his hand, I went to disable his hand, and I felt a sharp knife And I thought, oh my God, this guy's on top of me. He weighs a fucking half a ton. He's an ex-professional Canadian hockey player. Ex-professional Canadian hockey player who knows how to beat guys up and who knows how to swing a fucking baseball bat. He came, it's like, when you go to a game and you bring the ball, you got to know how to play the ball. If you bring your toys and your football to the football match and you can't play, you're an idiot. Right? Imagine getting in the ring with Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson, right? And you bring your boxing gloves, you bring everything and everything, right? But you can't box. You didn't train. You just thought, oh, well, I'm big and psychologically I'm taller than Mike Tyson. He's a midget and I can get him and blah, blah, blah. No, you never underestimate, man. And you never mock. You never mock your opponent. All these guys who showboat and talk and loud mouth. I'm going to kill you in the ring. I'm going to kill you in the. They get their asses humiliated all the fucking time. I don't understand how they still don't learn their lesson. So there's the wound, but there's Jupiter the Saviour right on trining the moon. Fortunately, luckily, Jupiter was in Sagittarius in those years. Now Sagittarius is over here in Cancer. So Sagittarius has gone right around, man. So when he gets back to here, I will be in the Americas 12 years, if we're around that long. Yeah, so there's the door right there. That's where that's behind that glass is where I had to disarm him. And for some strange reason, I don't know why I didn't run or I didn't grab Molly and run out the front door after I did that, because, he was just sitting there. It was like something was holding him there. It's weird, guys. I think what happens when you're demon possessed is the demons convince you that you can do this and you can kill someone and you can do that and whatever. Like, all these people that plan how to murder their wives with arsenic, or that vice versa, wife killing their husband, and they think they're going to get their insurance payout and everything like that, and then 10 months later they're in jail for the rest of their life because they get caught, because there's no amount of planning that cannot be penetrated, and the truth always comes out. So whether he just thought that his demons were gonna, like these loudmouth boxers, I'm gonna kill you, Mark, I'm gonna kill you, and they get knocked out in the first round, right? I don't know whether he had that spirit, that much ego, or whether he was just a slow amateur, because he was slow. I could see him doing everything in slow motion. And why the hell was he sitting like this on the couch, just like this, and I'm standing in front with a knife in my hand, and I don't know how I got it there. How I don't remember whether I got it out of his hand or whether I picked it up off the floor because he dropped it or what. I still don't remember. I see both versions clearly, but I don't know which one was the one. So that's why am I telling you this, guys? Well, the main reason was because I want to show you the power of astrology and how it works. It is the true science, and any truther out there who thinks he's a complete truther without astrology, these gurus out there, run away. They just want your money. They just want your energy. They smile come to my event, come to my, retreats and everything. Why? Just to get your energy, your money. I guarantee you won't go back better. Whether you go to Joe Dispenza or all these globe-tard, ejaculating, flesh-eating, non-astrology knowers, they're useless to you. Absolutely useless eaters. Oh yeah, they're living in their mansions because that's what they're doing it for. Yeah, if you think Joe Dispenza drives around in a little Volkswagen, look into him. Look into that guy. And all these other guys like who's that Indian guy who is Oprah Winfrey's friend, who writes all these books to make money. He's driving in Rolls Royces and everything. Yeah. So, and the other reason was to show, share with you what I've never shared with anyone ever before. How the whole thing panned out, and Molly will get on board one day, and we're going to tell the story. We probably need to. I don't have any trauma from the event at all whatsoever. For me, it happened. It was like a day at work. I did what I had to do. Yeah, Molly's still alive and she's still beautiful. She's a sweetheart. She calls me from time to time, maybe once every 3 or 4 months. So I was going somewhere else with that as well. It would be good for Mari to join us because Mari will have her perspective as well. But watch the video there. There it is. Santos killed a guy. Yeah, well, but here's the thing. Molly, if she wasn't busy pulling him off me and then in the kitchen hitting him with the baseball bat, he was killed by 2 people. He wasn't murdered. He was the murderer, but he got killed by 2 people. I did most of the damage, of course, because Molly had already suffered 2 blows to the head. But if she didn't save me, she saved me. She saved my life. Molly saved my life twice. First, by distracting him so he didn't get a jab in me. Because imagine if he had got 3 or 4 jabs in, one in my chest, one in my eye or something like that. It would have been a different story. She saved me. She was wounded and bashed. She had the presence to go out and bash Mari's door and call 911 and come back on her wobbly knees and jump on this guy and bite him and pull his hair. And she was having fun, she reckoned. She said, "That was great. I was stopping him. I knew I was stopping him." And then later, when I screamed at her to hit him on the head with the baseball bat, if she didn't do that, I was going to die in the kitchen. Because he was still very, 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 very keen on killing. So Molly always says, "You saved my life." And my answer is always, "And you saved mine in return," which she did. We both would have died were we not intelligent Aryan fighters. We would have been history. Yeah. Okay, guys. I don't know what else to do. Let's have a look at a bit of mundane astrology, shall we? Maybe. Let's see what's going on in the world. I feel like finishing off. I kind of drained my energy by going back in time and talking about, it was awful. And like, I feel sorry for Steve. I don't have any. I've never ever had any kind of anger or hate toward the guy at all, because I know what demons can do to you guys. I know what. I call them demons, but they're not. They're not demons. You make your own demons. Yes, you see, if you whinge and whine and keep bringing back trauma from the past, you're actually going to create an egregore. Your thoughts will give so much energy to this thing that it will actually become autonomous. And it, in turn, will talk to you and rule you and tell you what to do. It will tell you to hate people. It will tell you to kill people. It will tell you whatever it wants to, because it also has trauma. So that's what demons are. And I believe that he had all these fragmented demons around him that day who just suddenly disappeared because they could see my angels. I had a feeling when he was sitting there like that, I had a feeling that he was looking to my sides and he was seeing something that I couldn't see. And Molly, here's an interesting thing, because I went to Costa Rica after this incident. That happened on October the 13th. On November the 4th, I was in Costa Rica. So 3 weeks later, so I went back to Jamie's house, back to the ranch in California with Mari, hung out there. And then on November the 2nd, I went to Sacramento and did a presentation there, which is online, called The Gospel of the Stars of the Ecliptic. It's a beautiful presentation. That was in Sacramento. Then from Sacramento, we drove back down to... No. Yeah, someone came to that presentation and drove me to Los Angeles. And on the 20th of February... Wait a minute. Wait, sorry. November the 4th. Yeah, they drove me to Los Angeles. I got on the plane and went to Costa Rica, and then Nicaragua, and then Miami, and then I went back to Molly's place to help her for about 6 weeks. I washed all her dishes, mopped her floors, cooked all her food, did all her shopping, brought her to all her treatment therapies and everything. And you can ask Molly, I did that. The kitchen was as clean as mine. Yeah, I don't leave dirty dishes lying around. So I went back to help her for 6 weeks, and then went down to Los Angeles to do a presentation, which has never seen the light of day, called All Is Atum. Yeah, and the guys who filmed it were 2 Hollywood actors and producers and directors. And they lost the audio to one of the best presentations I've ever done, All Is Atum, in Burbank, California. Burbank or... Anyway. And that was the 16th of February. And then on the 20th of February, I came to Mexico. And then a month later, the lockdowns, and I got stuck here. Well, I didn't get stuck here. I came here for a very good reason. And that's why I went to Costa Rica and Nicaragua, because in my community, people were telling me that expatriates and truthers have communities in Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Mexico, and those are the places to go to escape the Five Eyes country, right? So I was doing every 3 months you have to. I had a 2-year visa to visit America, and every 3 months, every 90 days, you have to leave and come back. You can't just cross the border in Canada and then come back. They won't stamp your visa. They won't let you. You've got to fly out of the country, believe it or not. Fucking ridiculous. So, but it was good because it gave me opportunity to see that I didn't want to go to Costa Rica. I didn't want to go to Nicaragua. And then people were saying to me, why the hell did you go to Costa Rica and Nicaragua? Mexico is the best place to be, and everybody knows that. And I already knew that, but now I really knew it. And then I came here, and the lockdowns came and everything, and I realised since I was a child, I had a great affinity with Mexican culture, and I always wanted to be in Mexico and visit Mexico, and I just happen to love it. It's very similar to Italy in many, many ways. So yeah, let's have a look at today's transits then. Let's see what's going on. I'll save a bit of energy for that. Okay, so it's not the full moon. No freaking way. Oh, that's October. Jeez. Let's go. Let's have a look. Now, guys, here's an opportunity to tell you to drink a lot of acid before the new moon, which is coming in about a day and a half. So you can do your Andreas Moritz liver flush. If you don't know what that is, I've got a video on Patreon all about it. Please, please, please. It only costs you about $1.50 to get some oranges or lemons and a little bit of olive oil and some Epsom salts, right? You need to drink 4 tablespoons of Epsom salts, 2 before you take the olive oil and citrus, and then the next day in the morning, first thing you do is you drink the other half, the other 2 tablespoons of magnesium Epsom salts, right? So it's all explained, but I'm getting ready. I'm already drinking my tart cherry, and I've got a lot of malic acid in me, and I'm ready for this. I'm going to do a big liver flush, and I'm going to do some fasting. I might do a couple of days of fasting around this time. So that'll be, I think, well, let's see when the new moon is. Forward. Yeah, it'll be the 24th, my birthday, the 24th. So you want to be doing your liver flush around then. Now let's go back and see what's happening in the world, guys. All right, so the good thing is Jupiter is in Cancer. That's the savior. This is not good. This is all the wars that's going on. Sextiling with Pluto, destruction. There's the sextile there, right there. Now let's put the cursor over Saturn. Can you see that blue line going to Pluto? That means these 2 demons in their demon capacity retrograding, even more worse. You've got Uranus right on the cusp here, which will do way better in Gemini. But this is the hell. Saturn and Neptune together, that's just not good. That's just not good. It's good, but when it comes to being in Aries and being opposite, well, let's see what happens when Mars enters Libra in a few weeks. Watch this one. There's going to be a lot of justice, and it's going to be awful, guys. Let's see, when does Mars enter Libra? You can see how slow I type, and I even have to talk it September 12th? Okay. All right. Well, let me see why that is. That's too long to be retrograding. Let's see what happens with Mars. Let's go forward to September the 12th. We're in July 22. July, August, October, September. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Let's do 30 days. Mars must be retrograding. Yep. He's gone backwards, but we missed it. Why did we miss it? Let's go back 7 days and catch Mars retrograding. What the hell? I've gone back to, so July, let's get back to today. All right, Mars is going forward. All right, I'm just going to go 7 days at a time. Catch him retrograding. Why is it going to take... Oh, what an idiot. I've asked the wrong question. What was the question? Libra. Yeah, when does Mars enter Libra? Well, because look at this. When Mars enters Libra, look at this, guys. Bang. Look at that, man. So it's actually August the 7th. Well, what are these peanuts? Well, what? Mars enters Libra on September 12th, 2025, and remains in Libra until October 26th. Well, this is August the 7th, and Mars has entered Libra. Yeah, we only have 2 weeks to wait for this, guys. So if you're thinking this rumors of wars is going to happen, just wait for this day, guys. I'll give you the exact day. Back forward. There you go. August the 8th. Bang. 88. Let me make a prediction. So we've got Saturn sextiling with Pluto, still retrograding, and we have Mars 1 degrees, Saturn's 1 degrees, Neptune's 1 degrees, Aries is war, and Satan is in Aries, and Mars just absolutely hates Libra. That's when justice goes awry. That's when you make bad decisions. So everyone in general, be careful when Mars transits Libra. I just showed you in Molly's in what it did to Molly and me on that day. And be really nice to your partners. Do not be aggressive, because Librans talk. They're very, very vociferous, loquacious, talkative, like Geminis and Aquarians, all the air signs. So don't say nasty things to your partner. But what you could do is you could show martial passion and romance. But August the 8th, I'm gonna mark that in my calendar. Mercury will still be retrograding, unfortunately. I hate Mercury retrogrades. It's just, oh God, they're unbearable 3 weeks every 3 months. It's like a man having a period, you know? It's like a period time. Mercury retrograding, I call it time for the whole world to have their period. I feel sorry for you women. I really, really do. That the pains and whatever else goes with it, but it's part of nature. All right, guys, I'm going to wind down. I might answer some questions if you put them in all caps. Yeah, Mercury RX is awful. And you want to see where it is in my chart? I'll show you. I'm not happy. It's in a real spooky place. Oops, let's go back to my chart. Right there. And the sun's going to come and smack right into him because he's going backwards. I wonder when that's going to happen. Let's see, Mercury Sun. Okay, so that happened a long time ago. Let's go back 7 days. Oh, there you go, see? Around August the 1st, Mercury's going back. It's going to smash into the sun. Let's go. This is not good. Mercury retrograding. Oh, man. The last day of July. Oh, boy. All right. Power outages, hackings, technology going down, lights out, storms, planes crashing out of the sky. This is very unfortunate. Oh my. And then 8 days later on August, Mars goes direct with freaking Saturn. They're already causing trouble. Look, this is rumors of wars, but on August the 8th, justice. It's going to be justice. It's going to be all, ugh. And I do believe that it will also have to do with disclosure, because that's happening every day anyway. And luckily, Jupiter and Venus are going to be together here at the same time in Cancer. Lucky. That's the salvation. You're loved. You have the answers. No one's above or below you on a soul level. Yes. All right, so no questions. I'm glad even though I went live on the smallest channel that I've got. By the way, subscribe to that channel because I'm going to be teaching the guitar and the synesthetic method properly once I have my studio set up. It's going to sound way better than the other 8 presentations that I did on my Santos music channel. You can't even hear what I'm playing because of noise cancellation, wave cancellation. All right, I see there's been quite a few people, and I'm pretty impressed because that's my smallest channel. So there you go. It looks like people are getting notified on Patreon, which is good. Thank you for the support, guys. And what's your favorite dream that you've had? None. I don't really remember my dreams and nightmares. I do, but I don't have a favorite one. Much love, guys. We will see you on Thursday. Now, remember, I did this in place of the Keys to Understanding All Things Part 5 because Part 4 was taken off my channel, had a 1-week strike. Nick T is taking out the misinformation bits, and I'm going to put it back on Patreon. It'll be unlisted on my channel because I don't want the public to see it. I may let this one go to the public, maybe for a few minutes, and then put it unlisted, but it'll always be on Patreon, right? So that way, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will be in order. I don't want to be all over the place. And by the way, all you new people on Patreon, please go back and see that in Patreon, in the private, the best syncretism ever released is there. It's right there in Patreon for free. Just go back. If you want to watch some really good stuff, go back to Oli's Atum Part 1. It's the best presentation I've ever done. I've been working on it for about 15 years. No, 11 years. I've been working on that presentation since 2014. And it has about 900 pages. Jupiter in Cancer, 9/11 happened. Yeah. Because Cancer is the sign of July the 4th. You have to remember. They are all archons, and they all somehow work together to orchestrate every detail of your life. Every bit of knowledge about your DNA is in your chart. Browns boy, your favorite dream was smoking a Cuban with Santos in Cancun with Eric and Olga. I remember that. So what's your real name? Browns boy, hang on. Am I talking to Harry? I remember Eric and Olga, and we were smoking a cigar in Cancun. Come on, man, what's your name? It's either Nick. Check your phone. Okay. What do I need to check? WhatsApp? I don't have anything. And Browns boy, please. Or anyway, contact me in private and tell me who you are. I want to go back to that. WhatsApp. There's nothing on WhatsApp. Oh, okay, guys. So, big announcement. My website is being improved every day. It's going to be really good soon because I've got some great guys helping me, and they're tech wizards. So, but go there and let me share my screen and see what we've got there. Okay, the books. Where are the books? I forgot which tab. Newsletter. So where are the books? Sorry, guys, bear with me. But I have three. Three books available. Just bear with me. We're going to find them their books. And by the way, that book list, my list of recommended books, which I've had on my website for about 15 years, it disappeared when my site got hacked. And Dennis and Martin are restoring that list. So pretty soon you will have a list of all the books that I've recommended, which will give you syncretism. Okay. So Santos's books. Here we go, guys. I'm going to get this changed. I think we need this. I need this to be in a tab. Okay, so available here, and then you go to here. So far, we've got the Forgotten Science, Unlock the Secrets Within Your Body and the Stars, and a tissue salt book. Okay, guys. So please share this. I'm going to put that in the. What the? Yeah, okay. So I've copied that. So guys, how do you get there? Let's do that again. You just scroll down about here. So you've got follow. So you got Patreon, Rumble. I'm going with Rumble, guys. Join my Rumble, please. Please join my Rumble. That's where I'm going to do all my work. USB sticks, my syncretism charts, of course, and then the books. You just click here, and you have a tissue salt book, and you have here is the science of ascension, okay, connected with the stars, and why ancient wisdom holds the key to your power, and modern thinking keeps blind. I can't see, man. I'm keeps blind. Yeah, of course. Okay, so even with my glasses on, oh. I still have pretty much 2020 long vision, but when it comes to things up close, at the age of 62, I don't think. I do a lot of eye treatment stuff as well. I put aged urine in my eyes. I put Melipona honey in my eyes, and I put castor oil in my eyes, and it helps. It really helps. The other one is ginger. Okay, so I'll show you a trick. So this is castor oil. I put a drop of that in. The thing is, I don't do it every day, and I should, because I'm looking at the screen for 10 hours a day for the last 25 years, and the books that I've read, and etc., etc. But this is ginger. Yeah, powdered ginger in water. Put that in your eyes, but be careful. You want to dilute it because it burns. It burns, but it's anti-inflammatory. And if you got those little floaties in your eyes, ginger. If you have eye problems, ginger. And then follow up with a little bit of castor oil. You know, like castor oil anywhere is good for you. So I'll just show you, for instance, you put it on your teeth. It's starting to rain. So, I mean, you can do this, right? Anyone can do this. And you'll be surprised how much of that gets in your eyes, and castor oil penetrates and unloosens all the, you know, like, you see people who have wrinkles or blood vessels, right? Castor oil will dissolve all that, right? So grab some good castor oil, and I'll tell you the best castor oil. hexane 3 castor oil. Okay? Alrighty. Cotton gloves to bed with castor oil. Yeah. I used to do, when I do my sunbaking on my deck naked, I get a whole palmful of castor oil, and I just put it on my belly and on my liver and on my kidneys and spleen. Liver, spleen, kidney, and around my belly button and all around my belly. You dissolve all that. If you've got a little bit of a belly, right? Castor oil. I used to do it at night. I used to make a poultice. So fill a whole rag with castor oil, and then put plastic over it so it doesn't, dirty your bed and everything. And overnight. And I just got a brand new foot bath. These things remove all the shit out of your feet. That's the console. It's called, I think it's called ionic healing, bath healing or whatever. But my faithful other one that I've had for 3 years just broke down. Yeah, Browns boy, I know that you're Nick and Eric and Olga's friend. I know. I just can't remember which one you were. So, Nick, you're either Harry from Alabama or you're from Ohio. Are you the one from Ohio? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Contact me, Browns boy. So my WhatsApp is in every single video that I've done. So you can WhatsApp me if you want even. I'll put that in the chat. That is my WhatsApp, brother. Big tall guy, Ohio. Yeah. Yeah. And I can't even believe I've Eric. Wait a minute. Anyway, it's all good. I'll hear from you soon. Thanks, guys. See you next week on Tuesday.